What if I told you that you can make $100,000 with a $100 account in 90 days following one simple strategy? What if I told you that you can do this by only spending an hour a day working and you can leave that job that you hate? Well, stay tuned because you're not gonna learn that in this video. Today, I want to share with you some of the red flags I look for when someone kind of looks like a furu, a fake teacher. Now, this doesn't mean that they definitely are, but at least gives you ideas of what I look out for so that way you can look out for it as well and start asking yourself the questions of, is this the right person I should be following? If you're selling a course, I immediately want to pump the brakes and ask myself, do you need to sell a course to make money because you're not a good trader? Now, it doesn't mean that's true. It just means I need to think about this. Do they need to pump up a stock in a chat room so that way they can make money off of their subscribers? Meaning they buy a stock and then alert a room full of hundreds of thousands of people and say, hey, I just bought this stock. It's a low float, so therefore everyone buys it with them and it pumps their stock up and they can sell it against their subscribers. It's possible, but it doesn't mean it's definitely the reason why they're not real, because they could be real. But that's one of the things I'm looking for. Why are they selling something? Key phrases that I hear are simple, easy strategy. Or I have a student who became consistently profitable in 3 months. Pump the brakes, guys. Just because you've had a successful month or 2 months or 3 months, because I know you've experienced this or you know someone who has, and then they blew up in the next month or two. I don't think you're consistent, so you've been consistent for at least a year, because anyone can make money in a month, 2 months, 3 months. Heck, I was there when I was making money in 3 months, 4 months, and then blew up my account. It happens. So when people pump that and show, hey, this person made consistency in 1 month, and they don't say, well, they've only been consistent for their first month, but we know that doesn't mean they're consistently profitable because anything can happen. They're still new. They still can make mistakes. They still can lose all their money. If they're not saying things like that, I'm probably wondering, what are they really selling? They're selling the idea that you can do this in 1 month and you're consistent, so that way you can sign up for their service. And then they say things like, this is not a get rich quick scheme, but here are my guys who made money in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and now they're killing it. That's contradicting. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It's because they want you to stop thinking that, but then they immediately tell you that, hey, wait a minute, but you can, with hard work, in 1 month, 2 months, kill the market. And on top of that, they start to add, and sign up for my free webinar, my free course. And we all know what happens during that course. At the very beginning, in the middle, near the end, there's pitching this other tier. If you really want to know more of this specific strategy, make sure to sign up for XYZ. All of those kind of make me hesitant right away because I'm thinking, why are they so pushy? I'm not against anyone making money when they're teaching something legit. In fact, I do know people who do teach, who do charge. We don't always know the real reason, but I want you to know that you gotta ask those questions. You gotta ask, are they looking out for the best interest in me? Now, I know I've been saying a lot of things that seem negative and makes you think everyone is not real, but I want you to know there are some real people out there who are great traders and they're doing things for the right reasons and they're trying to help people out, and they do charge a fee. Like I said, there's nothing against people trying to make money for something that they are good at to help others. But I am trying to answer the question of, how do I know if someone's legit? It's hard because it's so easy to be fake and make it look real. It's so easy to show a fake account and make it look real, a fake statement and make it look real, a trade chart and make it look real. It is not hard to do anymore. We're in the digital age. Now, how do they teach? Are they always referencing, you asked a question and they just say, go out, watch my courses because the answer is there? Do they seem frustrated all the time? Like, oh, I've already answered that hundreds of times. Make sure you pay attention, or make sure you go back and watch this course. Do they review their trades very vaguely? Like, I bought this stock because it looked like it had some momentum, so I bought it and I sold it up here. Or they're very short at explaining why they bought. Or are they really going into detail and explaining, I got in this chart because look, if you look on the 1 minute, there's key support here, there's volume coming in, there's an area, and then when it broke that area, I had another key support as well. And the reason I sold at using the daily chart, like, do they go in detail? And also make sure that you're liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell for this video so that way you're notified for future content just like this. And to add to that, are they constantly sharing their profit and loss? And you're probably thinking, well, that's important. I want to make sure they're consistently profitable. And to some extent, I agree with you. I understand that. But there's one thing to only share your profit and loss without sharing the entire picture, without sharing the full detail of why you traded that stock, without reviewing it with everyone, answering everyone's questions. Because if you're just sharing your profit and loss, and they're creating a culture of flexing, right? Of trying to showboat, there might be a reason for that, right? I'm gonna start to hesitate and be like, are they just trying to show something that's shiny to attract more people to that object and to sell something in the future? That's what I'm looking out for. Now, again, I wanna reiterate, there's some great traders out there who are good people, who've been on my show, who I've not talked to yet. And that's why I'm so hesitant to ever say this guy's completely fake, because you and I have no clue. And that's why it's so hard. It's so hard to distinguish, but I'm still hesitant, and you need to be hesitant, and you need to take your time before just jumping ship with someone. Regardless, like, don't trust me, don't trust anybody. Like, you don't know who I am, you don't know who they are. Be hesitant. When I get messages on my comments saying, oh, you might be fake, that's great, because you don't know me. You need to be very cautious. This is a very sketchy market. We all know that. But here's the thing. How do they coach? Because a real life coach, you've been in sports, maybe you haven't, or you've been mentored, maybe you play piano, maybe you have a father who really helped you with something, or a mother who really helped you with something, or a friend who really cared about you. Remember those times where they were asking you questions about, why did you make this mistake? Why did you decide to do this? How have you been doing so far? What can I do to help you? And they actually worry about your growth, and they give you very good feedback that's specific to you and not just a blanket over everyone, right? There's one thing to be a head coach of a football team and tell everyone a prep talk. And there's another thing when the head coach sits with just the quarterback, just the running back, the lineman. He sits with them and then gives them specific feedback. And I'm not talking about all the linemen. He actually is going to sit with each specific player if he wants them to grow. That's what I want in a coach. That's what I want in a mentor. And sometimes those come free because there's someone who really cares deep down who wants to help you grow. And I'm not saying that someone who charges can't do that, because some people do that. They want to be there for you. They'll have one-on-one calls with you specifically, even though they have a huge chat room. They'll have one-on-one times where they'll answer your questions and dive deep into it. But that's what you want to find out. If they're not like that, if they seem off-putting and they seem like their answers always go back and watch the course, or we've already talked about that, or if they sound irritable, then maybe they're real. But do you really want to pay someone over and over and over again who doesn't really care about you and their best interests? I know I don't, and that's why I don't.